Alright, the reason I chose to work here over a shoe store or a fast food restaurant is because they both suck. And the Exploratorium sucks. Being an explainer has definitely given me the opportunity to look at a cow eye a lot more than I thought I would ever. But it's really cool. It's like one of my favorite demos. I have a lot of fun with that one. And I feel like I have the ability to interact with visitors a lot, like just interact with people a lot better than I thought I had the ability to. I think it's made me more aware of all the great science that's happening. When I'm outside, and now whenever I'm in the shade, I do this thing that Modesto taught us, where you make a little hole with your fingers, and then you can like separate out the branches and the shadows. And I do that all the time now. I find myself doing that. When you learn all these like little intricacies about like really simple everyday things, and then you find yourself like thinking about them when the little simple everyday things happen. It's so cool. It's really interesting, and it's just something that when I'm walking in the park or something, that I can look around and be like, that's growing because of photosynthesis, and like that's there because it helps block out sunlight and you can see more things. Being an explainer means, I think, just willing to learn, like sitting there and listening and taking everything in, and then processing it and putting back what you have. I have to translate. Like, a lot of the visitors are really small, especially like at Magic or at Cow Eye, some of the demonstrations, so you kind of have to like cater to them. You have to make it more accessible to what you're saying, like especially with Cow Eye, because that's kind of complicated. And I feel like I'm a lot better at talking to kids about stuff like that. There's a couple exhibits that I find myself at all the time, and there's like visitors there, and like turntable and humming plates, and I feel like those like really represent what it means to be an explainer, because like when you're sitting there and you're doing the exhibit, and like a visitor will come and like, wow, that's really cool, and then you can show them how to do it. Or humming plates, they'll do something that's really cool, and you sit there and you try to figure out how they did that. Having someone who's not a professor in physics explaining to you an exhibit, and having someone like who's a high school just person, it's a lot easier, I feel like, for the visitors to relate to.